And oh, let me put Roxanne's comment on the screen. Boom. She says, hey. So let's find out what's happening. Oh, wait, there's a message. Wait a minute. Let me click on the message first. Oh, okay. Oh, Barb's going to share this out. Awesome. Okay, so let me go to the correct page here and let's hang out. Hello, ladies. How are you today? Barb and Roxanne.
Yeah, I haven't seen Roxanne forever.
I know. It's been a long time.
Oh,
So, how are you both?
Good.
That's good. Hey, did you have that? I saw that purple ribbon before, Roxanne, but did you always have the word epilepsy on there? Or did you just add that?
A friend added that for me.
Okay, because I noticed that.
that's
Okay,
cool. I
nice.
like it. Yeah.
Mhm.
And the purple background is very nice.
Thank you.
And Barb, you have a different background with the arts and
Oh, that's.
reading.
I'm sorry. I could change that.
Oh, I like
I
it. Oh,
the that's from the Udemy student group. You know,
oh,
the
okay,
courses and so forth. So
nice.
I had to
Yeah.
go in there and so I'm using that avatar today.
Okay.
So it's been a while since we've caught up, and I just wanted to drop by for a few minutes. It's absolutely great to see Roxanne here. This is like a blabber's day, if you will, on Facebook.
Glad, yes.
Did you notice that Peter Nez, do you remember Professor Nez from Blab? And we had so many conversations on there, and I just really used to just get to him, because I was poking fun at him all the time, right? But
Wow.
became one of his followers. But he hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube this
Sweet.
morning.
Wow.
Sweet.
But that's wow, right? But I watched it go from 48,000 to that
Wow.
number in the last 7 days. I think it maybe,
What?
it's like, he made, I think, the first announcement like on uh, February the 28th.
Mhm.
And I think it might have been 48,000 then. Might have been. But,
Wow.
but I
Hmm.
mean, that
What's he been
just,
doing?
Yeah, what did he
well,
do?
you guys know I can't talk politics. It makes my
Oh,
st-
okay.
Oh,
it makes me all, my
Upset.
tummy gets hurt. But what he did, and he's such a brilliant guy,
Hmm.
but he took the latest headlines, if you
Hmm.
will,
Hmm.
and turned him around. And I mean, it's almost a comedic thing that he's done, but he's reacting. And some of it, I'm like, how are you getting away from that, with that?
Hmm.
Because it is hilarious. He's given some of the players nicknames, if you will.
Okay.
So,
ooh.
and
Okay.
they'll make you laugh. I
I can
swear.
imagine.
And I used to talk on Blab about, my husband's into politics, but I can't do it. I mean, it literally, I think it causes cancer if you watch it.
It could.
'Cause, I was in that, just in between my cancer surgeries when we were there on Blab,
Mm.
but he really, he enjoyed Peter too.
Mhm.
But it's more of I don't know, there were, I remember watching Johnny Carson, and there were several, comedians that would come on, and they would, during the political seasons, and they would just turn everything all. They weren't on one side or the other. They were just talking about how hilarious it was on each side on what was coming down. And
Mhm. Mhm.
the way, I mean, they are public speakers, and they
Mhm.
are obviously they're trying to convince us of things, and their performance is just, I mean, literally, if you turn the sound off and watch their body language at times, you can just roll over laughing. It is
Wow.
that bad. And so,
We definitely can't be for sure.
but with YouTube being what it is and Google being what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and then if he has breaking news, right, part of his title,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you go to his YouTube channel, check out his titles and timing of what he's doing.
I
And so he
will.
grabbed it. But if you could take, and I thought, how creative. And
So
I
give me
thought,
the name again.
it's at Professor Nez, and
Okay.
properly spelled professor. When we all met him, he was teaching at I don't know if it was Pepperdine but he was teaching in in I think it was a junior college if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken back
Okay.
then. But anyway, he's a really brilliant guy, and
I'll
but
definitely
I mean,
check her out.
all of a sudden he can't. If you look, I actually have a chart. Because I use TubeBuddy, not vidIQ, but in the
Mm-hmm.
analysis
I do
because
too.
I got it, when what was it on? I got a lifetime access when it was available back in the day,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so whenever I go over to a channel, it shows me the chart and their activity, and I mean, it just blew up in this week, and it was all because of his all in how he did it. And of
Wow.
course, the big thing is you want to learn, I mean, you want to be using yellow and red, a yellow background with red text in
Mm-hmm.
these thumbnails on YouTube right now are just, I mean, it's like honey drawing ants. So,
Wow.
so he's
Well,
done
I
all
could
that. So I
switch.
just, like you, Patricia, I was going, wow, wow, wow. It was crazy.
Wow, indeed.
So who knows? But yeah, I shared it on my profile, and there's a lot of blabbers that I'm still friends with today, and that
Mm-hmm.
he's mutual friends with. And I thought, well, Facebook will shut me down if I tag everybody at once.
Oh yeah, they'll think you're spamming or
So
something.
I just dropped a couple of comments and tagged 3 people at a time. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's
I just
fine.
think it's so incredible because it takes quite a normally takes more than a week to go from
Usually, I would like a
At
lifetime for
least.
me. What's
I
new with you, Roxanne? What's going on?
Well, I just wanted to mention a very interesting show tonight that I'm going to do at 7.
Wait, I thought your show was on Tuesday. It's on
Well,
Thursday.
it'll be switching around now
Well,
because of
okay.
the schedule.
Oh, okay. So
It's
seizure
tonight
the
at 7.
day
Mm-hmm.
is tonight. Let me write it down. So seizure the day. So tonight at 7.
7.
7. And who's your guest?
Peter Churchill
Okay, Church.
wrote a book, and it's very interesting to hear the difference between our um, school system
Mm-hmm.
for the disabled they
Mm-hmm.
have in England and what they do for them, and we don't have that. So it's interesting to
Okay.
see how they place them with a job.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that should
And
be interesting. So he's going to be all
Mhm.
the way from England.
He actually moved to Canada.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, but
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to this. So it's going to be on YouTube, folks. Seizure the day. So it
mhm.
sees in quotes the day.
Yeah.
7 o'clock tonight on YouTube.
So yeah, somebody from another country this time.
That should be fun.
Yeah, trying to catch his accent.
Hmm. Should be interesting to hear which English accent he has. I'll be curious to hear.
Yeah. So thank you. I wanted to mention that
Oh,
because
sure. I appreciate you
you're
coming
great
on.
reaching out. Thank you.
So I hope everybody listening or watching takes Roxanne's lead. When there's something to announce, come on the show. Come on the show. Now, Barb, do you have any? I know you know all the inner workings of the entry nets, as we say. What happened with Facebook this week when they went dry? Facebook was down,
Oh
WhatsApp,
boy,
and also
you would
Instagram.
ask that question. I had so many. I had calls yesterday from people. What is going on? So they couldn't get
Mhm.
in. But I I told everybody. I said go to it's
Okay, Roxanne.
downdetector.com. Yeah, and go there and you can check to see, and I was at over 76% of the Facebook users in the USA were reporting in that it was down for them.
Oh,
But
it
they,
wasn't the entire
oh,
system.
in different places of the world, yeah,
Hmm.
it was.
Hmm.
It
Okay.
wasn't, and Meta got, and that's when I found out that Meta actually had a page on Facebook for their news releases now. Usually you have to go out and go, to the website. But they just
Oh,
apologized and they have not revealed anything yet. So,
okay. I was
but
just curious because I actually was going to skip my show that day, and then it came up around lunchtime and decided to do my show an hour late.
oh,
So I think it came back at least, as far as I noticed, around 12:20 here
yeah,
Eastern time. So I went ahead and did my show. Just did it
great.
late, which was cool because I had different people watching because it was an hour later. So
Yeah,
that was cool.
yeah. Well, I heard from one of the Facebook, not Facebook, from StreamYard people. I think it was yesterday that they were taking away the group access and that it was actually going to be an April date
Oh,
versus March now, which was, I mean, they actually gave me a specific date, so
okay.
I'll
This
be.
broadcasting directly into a group will no longer be.
Right, you know how we have the little icons and we can go in without putting
Mhm.
in our TMP,
Oh, shout
and
out StreamYard, shout out.
yeah, but and of course assurance that they're working on it. So
Hmm.
hopefully that will all work out because I sure love StreamYard. I don't want to have to not use StreamYard. And
Yeah,
as long as, I mean, because it is, I mean, even I said, can you assure me that our TMP piece access is going to be available? And, it was very diplomatically responded to.
hmm.
Basically, that they didn't have the rest of the information. They were working with them now. So,
Hmm.
I mean, I
Well, I
almost
guess the
have
way
to.
I guess you might have to do it the way I'm doing it, where I make the announcement and have a graphic that I send to different pages, telling them where the show is live, on
Mm-hmm.
the Durham Skywriter Facebook page, and then after the show airs, I replace that graphic with a
With the link to
thumb
the,
link,
yeah.
what do you call it, thumbnail and link
Uh
to
huh.
the YouTube version.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say version. I mean the YouTube file.
Yeah.
You can watch it from there. So you
Yeah.
might have to do that. And now I couldn't share. You'll notice if you go to the Durham Skywriter Facebook page that same day that we had the outage,
Mm-hmm.
you still see the graphic. There is
Mm-hmm.
no YouTube file on that post, and that's because I
It
guess
wouldn't let you do it.
yeah, whatever
Yeah.
glitch.
Same. It's happening that I couldn't add images to, you'd write in text
Hmm.
to do just exactly what you did, and then you can put a link on there. And I, but we knew not to do that without putting an image. So I, go to put the image on, and
Hmm.
you click on the icon for the image, and
Hmm.
it would not come up. So what I had to do was go ahead and publish it with just the text, and then
Hmm.
immediately hit edit, and then it would come up. When
Oh,
the editing the post. But I mean, gosh, all the labor
oh.
involved in that, it's crazy. But there's clearly a bug. Just
Yeah. I was afraid that was going to be um, you know, that was permanent,
uh,
that I wouldn't be able to post to the different groups
yeah,
with the YouTube. I thought that was going to be permanent. This happened before where I would get an error message. It's not the very first time this has happened.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
it could possibly happen again. I don't know.
After the outage, the other thing that was being reported is that no longer were the messenger. If you wanted to screenshot um, a messenger post, from messenger, a message that came in
Mm-hmm.
with your phone, it wouldn't do the screenshot of
Oh.
that. Now, I believe that a private message to me is private, and I'm not, no need to screenshot it. If they're giving me a phone number or address or something, I'll copy that off so
Mm-hmm.
that I can contact them. But I don't see it something that we needed to have anyway. But
It's
it was
kind of
kind of
weird because
frenzy.
when you watch some of these YouTube videos and they're trying to out somebody for whatever reason, they'll
Hmm.
show these private messages, and I'm like, don't
How?
you?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't
Kind of,
care whether it. I don't know that a decision has been made, whether that's
mm-hmm.
actually legal or unlegal, but or not. But my feeling is ethically, it's not the right thing to do, unless that person, if you ask and that person says, sure, go ahead and do that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's just not appropriate. So.
Yeah, because right now it's being used to show receipts for
Uh huh.
misdeeds or whatever. I still think if you don't have permission and it was considered private, I mean, I think you should expect
Right.
a certain amount of privacy when you DM someone, but
Right. But I have, like the balloon talk group that
hmm
is my baby. That those and there are a lot of people who produce events,
hmm
and then they tell you where the event is, and they're on the fly and what they're and excited about some event
hmm
that they've got, and they might message that. Well, the actual date and time of the event, it's not really. I mean, they're promoting that event, but
hmm
I still don't believe in screenshotting that and sharing it out. It's just better to create a new image,
hmm
whatever that public information is. But yeah, and I don't, because you're a member in that group, I don't like people sharing those screenshots. So,
yeah. A lot of times people will send me information via uh, DM, and first I usually verify it first, and then I go ahead and put it in the Skywriter because usually it's their event. So and if I
yeah,
need any clarification, I can just message them back and ask them, whatever date or whatever question I might have. But yeah, I usually don't post things that I get privately. Not the exact thing, but like you're saying, you redo it as a post.
exactly,
You don't
exactly.
actually share it.
Did you know that today was World Book Day? Did you cover that in the first part of your show?
No,
Oh, well, it is.
I did point out that the libraries are open until 6 today, but I didn't know
Yeah.
about World Book Day.
Yeah, it is.
You know what?
So,
I wonder if I still. I don't think I could bring it out without knocking everything over, but I do have a Chase's directory over
oh,
here.
you do?
Yeah.
How long have you been a fan of Chase's
Oh,
events?
let me see if I could. Oh, I can do it without knocking things over. Ooh, wait a minute.
I don't think I've had a printed paper
Whoa.
one for
Look
a
how
long,
huge
long
this
time.
is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is
Yeah.
from 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
don't think I've had any paper printed ones. Oh,
woo,
geez. Look,
this is like 20
probably,
bucks. It's like,
yeah. Oh,
no,
yeah.
wait. Oh,
It's
wait, nine.
probably, it
No,
be
wait, $95. What am I talking about?
right.
20 bucks.
That's what I was going to say. That,
Whoa.
you know, yep, gathering
Well,
them up. But there's
well, it's
enough online anymore and enough tools online that my feeling is you don't need that
yeah.
printed one. Because,
Well,
like you said, I know it's over here. I'll go find it, and then when you open it up, the print isn't all that big either.
it isn't, but you would think if it's National Pancake Day or whatever, it'll probably still be National Pancake Day.
Sure.
It's just that I don't have um, the latest,
Yeah. Yeah.
newest
But
national days.
in the '90s, I had a subscription and to that and was religious about opening it up almost every day. you know?
Yeah, I can't remember how I heard about this. I know there's. I honestly don't know. I do know that when I was still in Chicago, I was a freelance proofreader for various publishing houses, and I might have heard about it through my proofreading because um, I would. Yeah, I was working for like four different companies as a freelancer, and Encyclopedia Britannica. I can't remember what other public. Oh, lots of really cool books, and because Chicago is I don't know if it's still known as a publishing hub, but it was quite the publish not like New York, but maybe second to or third to New York. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you could get lots of work as a proofreader if you were good back in the day. I don't know about nowadays. So that's probably how I heard about it. I probably proofread part of this back in the 90s
I
or
have to ask.
80s. No, not
Yeah.
90s, 80s,
Yeah.
90s, 80s, whatever,
Whatever.
whatever. So,
So on the StreamYard thing, I
hmm
have um, a question for you. Like today, because of what we have experienced the last couple of times, I
hmm
could share it to two destinations. And Roxanne was in here with us. Can she also share it to two destinations? All of the guests, can each of them share to two destinations? And does that number that is
hmm
shared impact what you, like if you had set your uh, session up to stream to up to 8 different destinations yourself, and then your guest came in, and
hmm
like me being one guest, well, I would have two. That it says that that's the maximum. So, but my question is if there were 8 guests in there and each of them send to two destinations, is that possible too? I mean, would
Probably.
everybody?
The one time that I was a guest, um, and I got a pop up saying, "Do you want to broadcast this to your page or friends or group?" Well, I forget the wording, and I said yes. So it went to my YouTube page,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if I had the opportunity to share it anywhere else. I honestly don't, because it was like the last minute. I mean, I was the next person up, and so I was like rushing. So I don't know if I had the choice of Facebook and Twitter.
Well, you do from your
No.
account, from your when you're setting up your stream, and you can edit your
Mhm.
stream.
Yeah, but
You
as a
know,
guest, though,
but
I
as a guest, we can only share it to each of me as a single guest can only
uh-huh.
share to two destinations. And if I
Oh,
decide
two.
to change, yeah, and if I
Okay.
decide I wanted to do to a different destination up until the time I went live with you,
Mm-hmm.
I could change that. I could change the editing. I probably can stop and restart as well. I wouldn't.
Hmm.
It might be worth testing. I don't know.
Well, I know that it only lasts as long as you're on camera, because once you're
Right.
off camera, that's it for the sharing.
Yeah. And then, oh, this is a good question for you. So, okay, so I go off camera. And right now I'm sharing it to two destinations.
Hmm
So then I go off camera. Can I, and you say, Barb, give me your opinion, whatever. And so I'm going to come back on camera again, right? Can
Okay.
I share it to two more destinations at that point?
I think it ends when you leave the screen, and then you'll have the opportunity to do it again.
Each time you go on screen,
That's
on
what I'm
and off
thinking. Yeah,
screen.
because it ends as soon as you're off screen. It ends for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Fascinating.
I think it'll pop up again saying, "Oh, do you want to resume
Yeah.
or start?"
I never. Interesting enough, since they're going to take the easy access away to our Facebook groups and that, I never gave it any thought until
Yeah.
because I never used it until I came in with you. So, um, it was just a first time actually for me to even try that out.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I am curious as to whether you, as the producer and being your account, whether you could then um, if there were multiple guests that were on
Mhm.
screen, if we were all on screen at the time, could share that each of us could share out to two destinations,
I don't
or
think
if
there
it
would
can
be a
only be
limit.
shared once, huh?
I doubt there would be a limit because I don't think it's that difficult for the whoever wrote the,
The
you know,
programming part of
yeah,
it, huh? Hmm.
yeah. I think it's probably very simple. I just got a notice from CNN that this is kind of scary. The FDA warns consumers to discard 6 brands of ground cinnamon found to have high levels of lead. Oh my
Wow.
God. So let's see what the brands are. Let's see.
But they'd only be new purchases, right? Because I mean,
I
most
believe, I
most
believe
spices
so.
like cinnamon they're good for a long time.
Yeah, La Fiesta sold at La Superior Supermercados. Markham sold at Save. Our Save a Lot just closed, so we don't have that. MTCI sold at SF Supermarket. Swad sold at Patel Brothers. Supreme Tradition sold at Dollar Tree and Family Dollar. And El Chillar sold at La Jolla Morelense in Baltimore, Maryland. And they have and they do have the lot numbers, so that's nice. So I think I got my cinnamon probably from Food Lion, so I'm probably safe. There's nothing like cinnamon on toast. Mm. Buttered toast, a little sugar, a little cinnamon.
I agree.
That's some good eating right there. That is
I
some
haven't
good.
had any of that for years. I remember as a kid that was a big deal, though.
My little brother loved French toast. They had a lot of cinnamon in
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times, good times. So I guess whoever uses a lot of cinnamon, check your labels, check your lot numbers. If you subscribe to CNN, you'll get it as a emergency notification, like I just did. So, or you can just go to CNN and just check the headlines. So, wow, and that's pretty important because a lot of people use cinnamon in their coffee. It's very, very Mexican, very
Mm-hmm.
stylish nowadays to put cinnamon in your coffee. A lot of people are trying that. A lot of people are also trying to with butter in their coffee, which is sounds a little wild to
Oh,
me.
that's uh, boy. The first time I heard of that, I think was 2012. But
Okay.
they were pushing that during when I was in my cancer rehab and that to put butter
Hmm.
in the coffee as well.
Sounds
So
different.
yeah, well, there's supposed to be some good things about that, and
Okay.
quite frankly, I can't remember. But my type of cancer, my gut was impacted quite a bit. So if
Oh.
the fact that they were, because I love coffee,
Hmm.
and the fact they were recommending butter in it probably has something to do with that. Of
Okay.
how the yeah.
Now, I watched a video where this guy from Pakistan showed how to make chai tea,
Mm-hmm.
and to my surprise, I grew up. I mean, we loved hot tea when we were kids. And of course, we started out with water. They start out with milk, so it's really rich. So you heat
Mm-hmm.
up the milk. No, first you put the milk in the cup, and then you stir in some sugar, and then you heat it up to boiling or whatever, and then you add. I think he also add cardamom seeds. He squashed some cardamom seeds and threw that in there, and then you throw in loose tea. I use tea bags, of course. Um, that's a good drink right there, even without the cardamom seeds. Heat up milk with sugar and a nice little tea bag there, and then if you happen to have some sweetened condensed milk, you put a little bit of that in there. It really sets it off. That's some really delicious tea. I suggest if you like tea, Barb. I don't know if you like tea, but if you like tea, definitely check that out. If you can drink milk, not everybody can drink milk.
Nope, I can't drink milk.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
It's okay.
Well,
So
for
the
those of
other
you
thing
like,
that happened on Facebook this morning is one of my friends, it was one of those copy and paste posts,
mm-hmm.
and it was a very long post, and it was a list of all the senior discounts, places that offered, the
Ooh.
senior discounts. And
Ooh.
I wondered how old that was, because it was a copy and paste thing.
Yeah.
And it all started with uh, grocery stores and restaurants. But it
Mm-hmm.
really brought my curiosity up, because how do we tell what's current and so forth? And there are actually lots of, if you Google it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
destinations that are offering discount lists for
You know what?
seniors.
Thank you, Barb. I'm going to add that feature to the Senior Scope page.
That'd be good. It's
Senior dis.
keeping it current is the issue. I did copy the list down, but
Mhm.
I didn't copy it to my profile, because I thought, how do we know whether
Yeah.
it's current or not? I would have to
Well,
test that. But
I
I'll
would.
say that it was restaurants,
Mm-hmm.
names you recognize, like Applebee's, Arby's, Ben and Jerry's, Bennigan's, Bob's Big Boy, the Chick-fil-A, Chili's, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think I'll
the
start out with discounts that are.
Then travel
Oh,
was the
ooh,
next one
travel.
they offered. Yeah, and
Ooh.
then after
What
that,
airlines
it
or?
was long travel. Yeah, it had airline. Let's see,
Ooh,
airlines. It has subcategories: airlines, car rental. So all the discounts of that.
I didn't know airlines
There,
would have a
at a
discount.
minimum, just glancing at it, the minimum discount is 10% off of whatever it
Okay.
is. Then there's in the miscellaneous, the hair, supercuts and great
Mm-hmm.
cuts. They have discounts.
Mm-hmm.
Cell phone discounts, activities and entertainment, AMC theaters, Regal cinemas.
We don't have
So
those things.
they have, and then the destination places like SeaWorld, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it would be interesting. I thought that was something. When I get a minute, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to see what it would. I mean, what it would generate as a
Oh, I think I'll
comprehensive
try
list.
that.
Yeah, because, and just to be, what are the top 10 or whatever, and just see what it does, because
Okay. I think
um,
for me, I'm going to start out with the ongoing
mm-hmm,
discounts where you don't have to worry about expiration dates and whatnot.
right.
Because every time I go to Bojangles, for example, I always say, um, senior discount, and I get, what is it? I don't know, at least 10% off or so. And it's ongoing. And I asked for 10% discount at Popeyes. They don't, I mean, for senior discount, they don't have senior discount at Popeyes. But they do have it at Bojangles.
Yeah.
So,
Something else that was kind of odd is that I never realized until just recently that whenever I'm live on Facebook,
hmm,
the circle around my profile icon on Facebook always turns red, and has a little live symbol on that.
that's cool.
Were you aware of that?
No,
I don't think it's ever been advertised, but yeah,
that's cool.
I've been taking screenshots, but like I share my account with someone else. I mean,
Hmm.
I let TJ go do his thing when I'm not, so that I don't have to be there all the time, and so whenever he's live, it's live on my account, even though I'm not live. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Wow. Well, what's not happening today is your picture does not show, when you're talking,
Yeah,
there's no animation.
the vibration.
Yeah.
That is because of, see, I can do it this way, and then it does it, because
Oh.
that is without the background. But I actually had the
Oh.
virtual camera in play, because I can switch to like 10 different scenes using my
Uh-huh.
virtual camera. And
Cool.
frankly, not that many people actually notice it. I mean, I felt it's not, the vibration part is not big enough, I don't think, when they're on, because the whole reason to create it with still profile um, avatars
Hmm.
was to make action around that area, so the eye would be drawn to it, when they're looking on screen.
Yeah, so you can know who's talking. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking because I did see one on YouTube where you could put the wave, the sound wave
Mm-hmm.
of the person talking, like as a symbol on the bottom or,
Oh.
or on the side, top, wherever you wanted it. But I saw it happening where it actually, their profile icon was still
Mm-hmm.
and not around, but you could actually see sound waves going across
That's
their
cool.
image, and I thought that would be much more,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
I think on
again.
Zoom, your square light,
Hmm.
turns white when you're talking.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's something to indicate that the person is actually talking from there.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
But well,
What's the weather like where you are?
um, it actually is supposed to be. Um, it looks really good.
Hmm.
My I'll check for you real quick, but over 60, I think.
Okay, because we're going up to 69 today.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, it's 50 degrees right now.
Mm-hmm.
So today is only supposed to be. I want to make sure it's in Albuquerque, and is 58 is the high projected for
Oh,
today.
okay.
And let's see how it's looking. Yeah, so I'm not supposed to get back up to the 60s until the March 11th. So
Wow.
I'm going to go down. I'm actually expecting snow
Monday.
tomorrow, a little bit of snow. How about that? And then if
No.
I look at my other
way.
home in Oregon, let's see 31 degrees there right
No, thank
now.
you.
But look at my temperature after today. My high there today is 44, but the rest it goes 52, 48, 49, 49, 51. It's like a cross, but it's going to
Mhm.
be raining up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh well. That's
Yeah, I'm
okay.
glad. I'm glad I am where I am at the moment.
I'm sure you are.
Grateful for that. So,
I'll take 60s over 31 any day.
absolutely. And I met. I know you're in my balloon talk group, but I met. So many of the people. I have a lot of friends in that group. There's probably 800 of my friends are actually in that group,
Mm-hmm.
and I've met them over the years that I've been in ballooning, many of them, and some of them are children or grandchildren of the people that I
Mm-hmm.
met, and we haven't actually met in person.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a gentleman this morning message me, and he was because I had said something about a special shaped balloon that he had designed.
Oh, okay.
I had, and I know lots of manufacturers and designers and thing, and
Mm-hmm.
so, but he went back, to the I believe he goes back as far as the 80s
Wow.
in designing, and he worked for Richard Branson's out,
Okay.
for Virgin and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Had quite a career with them as well. So
Nice.
he has promised me that he will come in and talk to our community in that group here. I
Nice.
mean, he gave me just a wealth of information because he feels the same way I do, is that we got to get more young people into the sport right away
Mm-hmm.
and let them know about all the magic and how wonderful it is because
It
um,
does look like an awful lot of fun.
yeah, well, it's the the biggest marketing communications tool you can hope for. I
Wow.
mean, that's that was how my interest was really, oh my gosh, because if you're in a balloon, even though you're there and you're having this fun ride over the
Mm-hmm.
city,
Mm-hmm.
people are seeing you from everywhere. So if you have a banner advertising
Oh,
some event or company,
read Durham
obviously it's
Skywriter.
advertising, right? And I mean, it's there for the time and then it's gone, but
Mm-hmm.
it's memorable.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
it's I
All the
was
way
over there
around.
over Albuquerque today, this from this particular destination, and I still think it's a number one marketing communications tool.
Well,
So
one
it's
of those dirigible type balloon
mm-hmm.
things
Yeah.
flew over Warrenton, North Carolina. My friend Crystal was driving,
Mm-hmm.
And she was at a stoplight, and the car next to her said, the lady from in the car next to her said, "Look!" And she looked out the window, and it was a
Yeah.
dirigible
The
thing.
airships. Yeah.
So she followed it and made a video, and it went viral for her area.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Wonderful.
because
Yeah.
it
Well,
was.
I there aren't that many pilots for that, and of course Terry Dillard's one of the best, and he's in balloon talk. I think they're all in balloon talk. Actually, the ones
Mhm,
who do that because it's not. Um, Not everybody can do that,
mhm.
and clearly, it takes special talent to
Well,
pull
if
that
she had
off.
posted her video in the Balloon Talk page, I'm sure somebody would have said, "Hey, that was me."
Exactly. That's exactly what happens
Hmm.
when we have, a lot of fans come into the group and they have never met a pilot, you
Hmm.
know. And so it gives them an opportunity to connect with the pilots directly and learn about the sport and why they shouldn't be stepping all over their envelopes at ballooning events and stuff.
Well, to get kids interested or young people interested in aviation, there have been special events where they take kids up, in an airplane and tell them about the business and
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
training and whatnot to get them because the pilot shortage. I suppose that could happen with balloons as well. Just take the little ones
Right.
up.
That's what that. Remember, you see in the group often about Balloon Federation of America,
Hmm.
BFA, and you'll see me say Quad A, or there'll be four capital A's in there, and that's the Albuquerque Air Ascension Association, and the whole thing is that the reason that they exist is to education and safety in the industry and getting more people involved in the sport. And there are things going on. They actually have like camps so, at various times, and they have one coming up right away for
Hmm.
kids to learn about it. And they do all kinds of things actually. So
I
I
want to say,
hope,
I want to say
yeah.
hello. I don't know who this is. Probably a friend of yours, Benjamin Olorunshogo.
Oh, he is TJ's assistant.
Okay,
Yeah, from
okay.
the
You're
Udemy
from
course group. So
okay. I wonder if he's from
yeah,
Nigeria.
I
But but cool.
no,
Well, welcome,
I
Benjamin.
I'm not sure which country. I thought it was Pakistan, but I'm not sure. Have
Oh,
maybe India. I'm not sure on that one. That's rare for Benjamin to be watching something I'm involved in.
well,
Because
welcome.
both of us help TJ behind the
Thank
scenes.
you for the thumbs up, Benjamin. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Well, what I need to do, Barb, is to go to what some people call work, and
yeah.
don't
Me
know what that
too.
is.
So I just
But I'm
great
glad
to
you dropped by. Drop by
great to catch
anytime.
up.
Oh,
And
one more thing, Barbara. So Barb, rather. Um, this was on YouTube where someone, I can't remember what happened. They bought some art. Okay. Oh, they're on Etsy. Okay. And they bought some beautiful art from an artist, and they loved it.
hmm
But as they got more familiar and started seeing more AI generated art,
hmm
came to realize that this was not original art, but probably AI generated. So he went back to their page, and a
hmm
lot of their art looks like, it has a dreamlike
hmm
quality.
surreal. Uh-huh.
And he was wondering, did I get ripped off? But it was too late to ask for a refund, I guess. But he was starting to realize this person was selling lots of art, but he
hmm
was wondering if it was AI generated because it really looked it all had that look. And I'm wondering now the person who was telling the story and showing the art was saying, I wonder if this is going to happen a lot more in coming months and years as people who are, well, they were saying boomers, like we're the only ones who don't know anything. And well, here you are, a boomer, and you know everything. You know what I mean? So they always say anyone who's going to be out of the loop is going to be a boomer. That's not true. Who comes up with
Oh
all the
my
ideas?
gosh.
I'm just saying. So
Oh my
anyway,
gosh.
anyway, he was saying, yeah, a lot of people are going to be fooled because they don't know. They
Well,
haven't
but
heard.
there are
They
a
haven't
lot
heard
of people been fooled by traditional art,
mm-hmm,
art in other forms, even that have been. I mean, you would take art that was, well, I know for a fact, I have original paintings that are oil and acrylic.
mm-hmm,
You take a photograph of them, they're now digital art, right? What you
mm,
can do, like normally, is like, depending on what your rights are to those things, may only be to sell them, right?
mm.
Depending on the rights you have.
Yeah, I
But
don't like that.
if you have the particular artist that I worked with, and because
Mm-hmm,
I was on the internet from, way back
mm-hmm,
in the early 90s, I, in generating the images to actually print, limited
mm-hmm,
edition prints and so forth, I had them in digital form,
mm-hmm.
back from the early days. And so, fortunately for that artist and myself, then the colors can be rendered just as vivid today as they
Mm-hmm.
could have been back then.
Okay.
And all art is copied. I'm sorry, there
Yeah.
isn't any original art from way
Yeah.
back in the caveman days. It was like you
Yeah.
see, oh, man, woman, child, and you start drawing. And so you're interpreting something that you see, and the
Mm-hmm.
interpretation is different. Well, hello, on AI, the interpretation is different as well. Even if
Rhonda
you take.
Cozart. Hello. I'm sorry. I was got excited. Hey, Rhonda. Oh, I got to say this real quick. Rhonda, I don't know if you realize you are mentioned on the, I think it's the second to the last page of the latest Durham Center for Senior Life, the Our Times newsletter. No, it's not the second to the last. It's the second to the second to the penultimate page. Thank you, Rhonda Cozart of Jules Outreach. I don't know if you saw that, but I saw it. So Rhonda's awesome. She's totally awesome. I'm sorry. What were you saying, Barb?
Well, your friend being paranoid about that, to me, there's no grounds for it from the standpoint they saw something that was beautiful and they liked it, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Whether it was AI generated or not, even with those very how and not understanding how AI is done, how AI art is generated, because text prompts have to be fed to that AI tool for art to be generated, and you can take that very same text and put it in a different AI art tool, and it generates something entirely different.
mm-hmm.
So
But it should
it's,
benefit the artist, though, right? I mean, I guess the reason why I would question it
but
is,
there isn't another artist. You don't get it. It's an amalgamation of all that data in
mhm.
one in a new art piece. So
Oh,
this is, see, I'm not happy about the federal government in our country did not, they just made a ruling that that it couldn't be, it wasn't copyrightable. Well, look
mm-hmm,
at the age of the people that made that ruling.
mm-hmm.
And
Older, I guess.
overall, I'm sorry, but boomer and even, you know, we still got one generation ahead of us that is still in the game. And
Mm-hmm,
and the point is those who are threatened by technology
mm-hmm,
lean towards that, and they're thinking, well, if I put something in the style of Thomas Kincaid, that I'm going to be stealing from Thomas Kincaid. No,
mm-hmm,
as an artist without the tools, if
mm-hmm,
I look at Thomas Kincaid's work and I say, I really like that, I want to do that style, and you can do that, and
mm-hmm,
you put it under your name, the only way that you're going to be as significant as Thomas Kincaid is through promotion.
mm-hmm.
Because art is art. If
Yeah.
it's not spread around, and the value is really on the recipient that has it at the time. If it means something to you and it's special,
Mm-hmm.
then it's priceless. You know, I
Yeah.
have, I literally have a photo print of John Wayne. It's absolutely magnificent. There was
Okay.
a limited number of those photo prints published,
Mm-hmm.
and the print was $500 in
Ooh. Ooh.
1979. and I still have
Mm.
that today. So
Wow.
we know that if you know anything about photography and the papers it was printed on, for that to be as vivid today as it
Mhm.
was back then, the tools, and everything that was required to generate that, not even available today, you know.
Wow.
But it's a tremendous, it's priceless to me as I am alive. But if something happens to me, my son could say, "What is that?" And take it down to Goodwill. No kidding.
Ah,
And you know what I'm saying? If
yeah,
it's the value of the holder,
exactly.
and so if that person, they bought it, they liked it, is like, be good with it,
Yeah.
because there'll be all kinds that look similar to and people would all through time have accused others of stealing their stuff. It's
Mhm.
one thing if you see the exact replica of
Yeah.
what you've got. And
Yeah.
the thing with AI art, I can do two different sessions of the same prompt
Mhm.
using the same AI art tool and not get the same result.
Wow.
So it's their lack of knowledge about the art form, how
Mhm.
it's done, and
Okay.
so forth. So,
Okay. And with those words of wisdom, we're going to end the show. Thanks
very
for
good.
stopping by, Barb. And I do appreciate earlier Roxanne was watching, Benjamin was watching, and Rhonda Cozart's watching. And Rhonda, I'd like to get together with you when you have when you have time, because I want to make sure she has enough senior pharmacist flyers. She helps a lot of seniors, people in general. And also I just want to point out that there's a program I've been talking about, and it's on the word page, where Rhonda would like go to Jules Outreach, go to the word page, scroll down to Jules Outreach, and you will see where male business owners and leaders are asked to step forward and to volunteer to speak with the young men, the boys, and the young male teens living in the shelter downtown. Get them to think bigger, to think beyond their current situation so they could be successful later in life. So that information is on the word page, and that is Rhonda Cozart's uh, business, Jules Outreach. It's a nonprofit, and it's wonderful. And with that, I want to thank you, Barb, for coming on the show, and thank you for sharing the show out so that Benjamin and other people
Welcome.
can watch it later. So, so thank you, Barb,
You're welcome.
and I'll see you real soon. All righty. So that is today's show. You can always drop by. I'm on Bull City Hangout. It's on Facebook, Twitter, X, and YouTube all at the same time. But if you want to come on the show, you have to watch from the Durham Skywriter Facebook page. That's where the link is. You can always join me whenever I'm doing the show live. I would always welcome you, and you can promote yourself, your business, your special event, etc. With that, have a beautiful day. Check on your elders, and I'll see you tomorrow at noon for Bull City Hangout. Ciao for now.